You know, Brother G was going to take some time and go over a message today about the early church. In the early church, you know, and I got to pause too. The Bible talks about being ready in season and
out season.
And out of season. That's correct. So very important that we stay ready, right? Now, one thing I have realized too in all of the readiness, you always want to have your notes to refer to. It's very, very important that you have. See my notes? I don't go. That's. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's notes. It took me weeks to put all of this together. Oh my goodness. And the camera rolling. I can't stop the camera. Brother G, can you help me? Can you help me with my message?
Yeah, Papa.
You can help me. Oh, Lord. Okay, we got to keep rolling. The message about Paul. Paul came out of,
Tarshish.
I can't hear you.
Tarshish.
He came out of Tarshish, yes. And Paul went to school in, Jerusalem.
No, he came out of Tarshish and went to school in Jerusalem.
Right, okay. So then when he went to school, he studied under Gamaliel, right? Oh, okay. A great rabbi, theologian.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So Paul was very intellectually oriented. In fact, he was polished. He was to become a Pharisee. A Pharisee is...
strict observer of the law.
You said strictest observer of the law?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what my note... I got them down there. That's what my note said. Yeah, that's what it said. And so Paul hears about... put your hands off your feet there, brother. So Paul hears about a bunch of these Christians having Wednesday night Bible study. He said, oh, give me a letter. I'm going to go and put a stop to this mess. So Paul gets a letter. He rounds up some of his buddies, right?
Yeah.
And they loaded up their beasts and they headed on to the road to
Damascus.
Damascus. Yeah. My notes said that right there. Yeah, they're going to Damascus. So when they're out on this road to Damascus, they see this blinding light, right?
Yeah.
And in this blinding light, there was a voice. And the voice says,
Paul says, who was there? And Jesus says, Jesus, whom thou persecutes.
Yeah, that's what my note said. When he looked at this blinding light, Paul said, who is this? And the light says, I'm Jesus, whom thou persecute. Paul said, oh my goodness. Now watch this now. When he was on the road to Damascus and him and his boys, when this bright light, his buddies saw the light, but they didn't hear the voice. Am I right about it?
Yeah.
Sometimes when God is reaching out, you can be in the midst of all your homies. They'll see the light because the light might be coming from you, but they won't hear the voice. The voice is for you. So Paul hears this voice in the lights, and he says, well, Jesus, what would you have me to do?
No. Go on to Damascus where you're heading, and a preacher will be there waiting for you.
Wow, that's what my note said. I remember reading that right there. He said, no, you go on to Damascus. You know, because a lot of times, even today, we like to be in our bedrooms and our living rooms and trying to talk directly to God, right? But Jesus said, no, you go on to Damascus, and when you get there, there'll be a preacher. He'll tell you what to do. And so this preacher name
was Ananias.
Ananias, man. So now Ananias comes into the circle, and Paul gets there now, and go on a street called Straight, right? And so he gets there and doesn't got to move on now, but he gets there and prays over Paul, and the scales fall from his eyes. Now Paul gets a vision in the night, the Bible says in the book of Acts, saying, come over to Macedonia and help us. You see, now Paul's plan was to go to, I believe it was Syria to the left, to the right, but God caught him in Troas and said, no, you go on to Arabia. the first time that the gospel had ever been heard on the European continent, it was Paul who took it there. We're going to pause right there for a moment. I'm going to recollect my notes. Brother teacher, man, you the bomb. Thank you for helping me with this message this morning. And we will continue this at a later time until our camera person, a.k.a. Nelly, better known as Yum Yum, cut.